Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. I just saw Jill's comment in the chat, energy kicking my butt. Me too. I got stories. But I did want to say hi to everyone that's in the chat. Hello, Traylene. Hello, Dancing River of Stars. Jill, Courtney, welcome in. Taria, welcome in. Nelvin, how are you doing? Maricela, hello. So I'm excited to be here tonight. We are going to talk about the astrology of this powerful total solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius and all the details that are basically unfolding from this eclipse. Because one of the things that I have noticed about this specific one in regards to my preparation is that hello, Mama Ocean. Is that I have like a little cough drop in my mouth, but because there's a little, it's layers after layers after layers that have been coming in. And I'm like out of it too. Like, I'll tell you guys about my day. I've been sneezing all day. I've been having one of those like allergic things because yesterday I ate some sugar and I shouldn't have, but then I'm also starting my monthly cycle, and you know how that goes. So I am feeling like just energetically run down and emotionally run down, but I am here and I am showing up for you guys. I love you too, Mama Ocean. And there's a lot to talk about, and this is going to be a really, really cool eclipse. I can't wait to show you everything that it has to do with. But before we get there, I want to invite you guys. I have a really exciting announcement, and I'm going to switch screens over here. I want to share with you the STARSEED membership that has just started the registration process. And you're going to see the screen in a moment. So here we go. So this is basically my website, but I want to share with you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I want to share this with you because I am so freaking excited. I've been working really hard on it. Actually, today I was like flying into this broadcast because for like, I don't know how many hours, I just got lost in it. I was sound testing for the Akashic healing chambers that I'm going to be doing as part of the Starseed membership. And I can't wait to have these experiences with you guys. And I can't wait to offer the Akashic healing chambers in general for anyone that needs some healing in their lives. So when you go to my website, you can also click the link below in the description, but you'll go to the menu button, click on Starseed membership, and it'll take you to the sign up page. And some of the things that we're going to be covering, basically we go from astrological season to astrological season. Astrology is a big part of it. I cover the astrology for the whole month in the beginning of the astrology season, meaning we're going to be starting the content on the 21st of December, which is the winter solstice, this first time around. And around that date is when the cycle resets for us, because obviously this is an astrology membership. Celtic Wheel Wisdom is another thing that we're going to be doing, following the Celtic wheel of the year, the equinoxes, the solstices, the cross-quarter days. Hello, Valerie. Welcome in. Oh, and I'm going to be sneezing, by the way. Okay, that one went away, but I almost sneezed there. So I apologize for the sneezing, you guys. It's just been one of those days. And so the Celtic wheel is something really powerful because ritualistically and ceremonially, these are really powerful moments where it has to do with the relationship between the earth and the sun and the light that we get on earth. Kundalini meditations are also things that I'm going to be adding into the mix here. Astral travel journeys, Stargate magic, whenever the fixed stars land on, whenever the planets land on certain fixed stars and what that means and what portals they open up. New and full moon journaling prompts and meditations. Like I just mentioned, Akashic healing chambers, shamanic journeys, and group energy readings. And this membership is only $22 a month. So it's super affordable. You can also get a discounted price for the whole year if you'd rather do that. But that is now officially ready for registration. Registration is open. And the first 50 people are going to get that sign up for it are going to get entered to win one of my free holiday readings, which is a 1-hour live session with me on Zoom. We can talk about astrology. We can do tarot, oracle. I'm pretty sure by that time, I'll be able to do an Akashic record reading. But it'll be a really awesome way to be able to enter to win this prize or this giveaway, whatever we want to call it, raffle. But I'm really excited. And we begin on the 21st. We're going to hit it off with a bang. We're going to have a winter solstice ceremony, a private ceremony just for the members, and that's how we're going to kick it off. So it's going to be a live event, and it will be on the 21st, I believe. That's the exact, we're going to be going live on that day. I think it's a Tuesday night or something like that. But anyways, I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Also, I'm continuing to enroll for the Moon Goddess training, which starts in January of 2022. Right now, the payment plan is 2 payments of $140 or a total of $275. But this is going to be an epic 8-week journey. We're going to go through the temple initiations. Awesome, Jill. We're going to go through the temple initiations. You're going to learn about intuition, how it works, how to access it, how to find your psychic gifts in your natal chart. We're going to talk about, thank you, Courtney, empowerment, astrology, the gene keys, how to find goddess markings in your chart, the 13 moon centers, ritual ceremony. We're going to do a 40-day meditation, and I've already chosen the meditations. Like, they came to me between the last few days or so, and I love that they came to me during eclipse season. So it's really exciting, the ones that we're going to be doing, and they're going to be super powerful, and they're not going to be too difficult to actually do. I know Kundalini Yoga can sometimes be a little bit like overwhelming, but in a really good way. Overwhelming in a good way. It really clears the energy and is super powerful. And I want you guys to have an experiential experience of all of this stuff. And this is the one way to do it, is through these powerful Kundalini yoga meditations. We're also going to do Akashic Records journeys for the Moon Goddess training, Hermetic alchemy, and like I said, Kundalini yoga technology. So that is super awesome. I have also, if we go back to the home page, I have also updated the website a little bit. And the book a reading page is going to be a little bit different than you guys are used to. When you go to the page, hello, Nelly, welcome in. It'll show you the 3 categories of readings that I do. So astrology, Akashic record readings, and quantum astral healing journeys. And then it says what I offer. Right now we have the special holiday reading going on, the STARSEED readings, the astral STARSEED DNA activations, the basic birth chart readings. The astrology consultation is a new thing, but it is basically anything that you want to talk about within the realm of astrology we can cover in the consultation. I wanted to make it just simpler and like a flat fee for everyone, so that we'll just, if you want to do the composite chart, we do that. If you want to do a synastry, we could like fit whatever we can fit into. It'll be into the hour, $33 an hour, or if we go over, it's charged separately, but whatever we can fit into that, we can talk about, and it's really up to you and what you want to uncover. And then the Akashic readings, which I'm so freaking excited to be able to start doing. There'll be Akashic record reading or an Akashic healing chamber, which I can't wait for you guys to experience. We're going to have one for our first month. During our first month of the STARSEED membership, you guys will get to experience these as a group if you are a member. And obviously the quantum astral healing journeys that I do is basically QHHT. That is the Dolores Cannon modality. She calls it quantum healing hypnosis therapy. I call my sessions quantum astral healing journeys, but it's basically the same thing. So there's that, you guys. And that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm also doing a sale for my Etsy shop. The sale is still going on right now, so make sure to check it out. And of course, we've got the let's show this one, the pearl one. We've got the headpieces for sale. There's 4 of them right now, and I am making some more. So everything is just amazing. Yeah, Traylene is like, yes, for sure, the Kundalini yoga. Oh my God. And then Maricela says, I can't wait for the Moon Goddess training. So these headpieces are powerful meditation pieces, and you wear them for meditation, and then you wear them as a necklace, or you can wear them as a bracelet when you're done with your meditation to carry the frequency of that, which you have charged now with the meditation with you. So that is what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about this freaking eclipse. And again, I apologize that I keep sneezing and having to blow my nose, but you'll just have to deal with it for this broadcast because it just is what it is. Oh, thank you, Taria. That's really sweet. She says, congrats on all this expansion. You're on fire. I love it. Hello, Venus. Welcome in. And thank you guys again for your patience. And it's so funny because my patience is being tested for the last few days. I'll tell you a little story now about my day today. And I'd love for you guys to tell me how everything is going on for you in the chat as we approach this crazy solar eclipse. So today I woke up, yesterday I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was losing my mind. I was irritated. I felt, impatient and all this stuff. And today I realized, okay, well, it was moon time. So I understood why I felt that way yesterday, but I feel like the eclipse is just so heavy because this morning when I was doing my Kundalini yoga practice, I had this really intense experience, like this powerful visual. It was like all these things. It was a very emotional thing for me. And I was literally sobbing. literally sobbing during Sat Kriya. And I have been doing a lot of crying, lately. Like where, your eyes get puffy and you're like, oh God, I got to put on some makeup. That kind of crying I've been doing lately. There's just a lot coming up for me personally. So I am, here and I'm doing my best to show up, but really in the background I really am going through a lot. But there's something about astrology and showing up for you guys and doing all of these things that is really my passion, and everything that I've really all I ever wanted was to be a teacher and to be an inspiration for others. And so I will always show up no matter what is going on for me. And that's something that's a commitment that I make, for myself and for you guys. But yeah, there's just a lot going on, a lot. And there's felt a lot of frustration, like frustrated energies have been showing up for me. And I just keep thinking like, oh my God, this eclipse is so intense. Magali says same and emotional. I just saw your last weekly message and it aligns with my current energies. Magali says she cried a lot as well. Traylene says same, Jai, patience, being super tested, like everything messing up that I can't control. Courtney says since last week I've been more emotional. Dreams have been intense. I've been doing the Guru Kriya meditation to help come back to balance. I love that. Yeah, that meditation is so sweet. Maricela says yesterday I cried during my meditation the whole time, right? Like I was like, no joke, crying during Sat Kriya. Can you imagine that? Mama Ocean, like sobbing during Sat Kriya, and I did the whole thing. But there was something so powerful that was like, this strength was coming through me as I was like sobbing. And I realized that I'm like releasing. There is such intense releasing right now. And it has to do because the eclipse is on the South Node, and South Node eclipses are very much karmic. They can bring up a lot of karma. So that's what's going on, and I know that. So I always just give myself so much space, to do all the things and to be able to show up. I also have to know when to take care of myself. So I give myself space, and it really helps. Hello, Joan. Welcome in. It really is super intense. Yes, I agree. Since the last eclipse, it's felt like chaos in the best and worst way. Me too. I posted something on Instagram today about how basically since, the last eclipse, but really since I started my Akashic training, if I'm really going to put the credit where the credit's at, it's like the Akashic record training has just activated me, just like my teacher Vanessa said. Like it has just completely like blown the lid open, and I'm stepping further and further into, my destiny. And I also see, and the reason why there's so many tears and so much letting go is because I can see I'm also leaving behind certain things. The more I expand, the more I feel like there are certain endings that are imminent. And yeah. So it's just really an emotional time. So what we're going to look at is this chart and everything that this eclipse has to bring us. Generally, when we talk about a eclipse, it's a time of revolution. It is a time where, these are every 6 months we have eclipses, and every time they mean something different. Some eclipses are like total eclipses. Some eclipses are partial eclipses. This one happens to be a total solar eclipse that's actually going to be seen in the South Pole. Like, it's so weird because I talk a lot about Kundalini, and when you think of the earth and you like the North and the South Pole are like kind of central, like the central channel of the earth, and to have the eclipse like hitting exactly the South Pole, is really significant. And to me, when you think of like the chakras, you would think that the North Pole would be like the crown and the South Pole would be like, the root. And so it feels like the Shushumna of the earth is getting like activated from the root to the crown. And that's something that has been coming up for me in terms of like, what could this possibly mean? A total solar eclipse that will be seen only from the South Pole. This eclipse is a Sagittarius eclipse, so it's ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of hope. It's the planet of faith. It is with the South Node. I'll do this so you guys can kind of see it. It is with the South Node, so this means that there's a lot of karmic things. There's endings, right? Because like the South Node tells you like these are the things that you have to let go of, so that you can make space for something new. And wherever the South Node is transiting in your chart is basically where you are releasing and moving on and letting go. So there is a lot of that. There's endings that will show up as new beginnings because this is a new moon. So when the sun and the moon are conjunct, this means a new moon, and new moons are about setting intentions. But the South Node says before you can really start to move forward, you have to let go and you have to leave behind those things that no longer serve you. So it is a time of expansion, but it's also important because Sagittarius has to do with faith and with hopes and belief systems. South Node can confuse us and say there's like we have a certain belief, but it's a false belief. So this is a time where false beliefs have to be dropped. You cannot fall for the false beliefs. In fact, this entire time, we've been focusing on the North Node in Gemini, which is about moving forward towards finding your own truth and finding it within your own environment and focusing on your own environment and not going out there and trying to find the answers out there and traveling and exploring as much symbolically as much as just exploring, but within your own world. This is about, communicating with each other and finding our own way, being curious, but finding our own way. And it will, like I said, activate a 6-month journey. So the intentions that you're setting right now are literally setting you up for some epicness. And I don't know about you guys, but the amount of change and shift that's been going on in my life is like beyond. It's beyond. Like I feel like fully stepping into more and more power, and just it's blowing my mind. It's been blowing my mind since October, since this last moon goddess training that we started. I mean, that's really when I started to feel like the momentum just started to like get, higher and higher. And it started to build and build. And now we're at like, okay, eclipse season. And it's not, and it's not like, oh, look, it's, we're in December, you guys. I can't even believe that. I literally can't believe, like, I've been so like strict on following my calendar and like putting things out there, in the way that I scheduled them, that I lose track of time because I'm just like on the clock all the time. And I lose track of like looking at the overall picture. And we're in December, and this eclipse is happening December 4th, but it's actually not the last powerful thing that's going to happen for the rest of the year. Like there's like layers and layers. And I've been talking about this in all of my videos. So this is a new beginning, especially with the dark moon in Scorpio right now. We're in a dark moon in Scorpio. Like you cannot make this up. The Scorpio moon is about death and rebirth. And we're getting ready for a whole new journey, a whole new world. Literally that Aladdin, the scene of Aladdin, like a whole new world. And we have to trust in ourselves and trust in our own sovereignty. And that's what's going to really carry us forward. So some of the aspects that this eclipse is making, so the eclipse is right down here, and it's happening at 12 degrees, which is significant. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the eclipse is conjunct Mercury. So Mercury in Sag is really about speaking the truth and only the truth. And it doesn't matter whether the truth hurts. Like the truth is the truth. And that's what Mercury and Sag is really all about. This eclipse is also making a quincunx to Uranus. And Uranus has been a big player in a lot of the new and the full moons this year, bringing in unpredictability, bringing in like a shock. There's like a shock value to things. Quincunxes just bring up like there's a challenge, right? And Uranus is like that lightning bolt that hits and it shocks you, but it wakes you up. And that's what Uranus has been doing. The eclipse is also making a trine to Chiron. Chiron, the wounded healer or the golden healer, if you want to call it, is bringing in the alchemy. Moon trine Chiron, Sun trine Chiron is the alchemy, and it activates the magic of the moon. So the magic of the moon goddess and the magic of, Sagittarius and fire. They're fire signs. Aries and Sagittarius are both fire signs, so it really kind of lights the fire. The eclipse is also going to be making a conjunction to Vesta. And Vesta is known as, she's an asteroid. She's known as the keeper of the sacred flame. She happens to be on Antares. And this is where we're gonna start to get a little bit more detailed, and I'm gonna explain all these things. But she happens to be on Antares, which is one of the royal fixed stars. It is the star at the heart of the Scorpion constellation. So these themes, it's about finding the truth in the heart space. It's also connected to Archangel Uriel, who is the most mysterious of the archangels. He's the archangel of wisdom. He brings in wisdom, but this is the wisdom of the heart. And that's one of the powerful things, that there's a royal fixed star right here with this connection. In terms of the eclipse itself, is actually on 2 degrees away from a point called the Great Attractor. And the Great Attractor is a cluster of 100,000 galaxies, 250 million light years away. It's basically the Akashic records of the entire universe. It is just like the galactic center of the Milky Way, which is a black hole. This Great Attractor acts as this sort of huge, even huger black hole where we're all hurling towards. And it is a powerful connection to the history, the past, the present, the future of the entire universe, like the creation of the universe, the womb of all creation, the source of all creation. This eclipse is like literally 2 degrees away from that point. The eclipse is also on Ophiuchus, which is the serpent bearer. A total eclipse of the heart. Oh, that's funny, Traylene. It's the snake, the serpent bearer. And the serpent represents the Kundalini energy. Hello, Veronica. The serpent represents the awakening, the DNA activation, and the awakener. And so then the big shifts, right? So this is why so many big shifts are happening right now, because this energy of Ophiuchus, who is known as also the 13th sign, the hidden sign, which can only be accessed if you have a key. If you have point in your chart on these degrees, then you're an Ophiuchus starseed. The Great Attractor is 14. Is it 13 or 14? I think it's 14, but it's only 2 degrees away. But if you have points here in this part of the astrology chart, Sagittarius, you're an Ophiuchus starseed. And this is the ethereal energy. This is the ethereal energy. This is it rules the 5th element, the element of ether. And so it is like one of the most powerful like activators in the chart, because it goes beyond the chart. And when you access this kind of energy, we're talking the sorceress, the enchantress, the magician, the alchemist, dark magic, light magic, like all of it put together. Healing, deep, powerful healing. And the most important thing really is that DNA activation that it creates. But these are all things that are going on right now, where this eclipse. So this is a stargate. This isn't, I would call it, this isn't a regular eclipse. There's a lot of fixed star energy, which is activating the energy of the eclipse. At the same time, we see Venus making a conjunction to Pluto. The reason it's not exact, but the reason why this is significant is it will be exact in days. Venus is going to pass Pluto and then she's going to go retrograde and then hit him again. This is intense because Venus right now is going, through a phase where she's about to go retrograde. That's something that only happens every 18 months. She goes retrograde and she makes a conjunction with the sun. So it's a Cassini point. And she gets burnt out by the sun. She goes through the underworld. She has to let go and release. And Pluto is the ruler of the underworld. So she's legit going to meet Pluto in the underworld. She's going to the god of the underworld. And so in terms of relationships with Capricorn energy as well, if you're not ready for the kind of rules and things that Pluto or Capricorn put down to say this is really the only way is the mature way. The only way is the sovereign way. The only way is the take your power back way. The only way is for you to take ownership of your life. You can't blame anyone else. These are the themes that we're confronting in relationships. And that's why if you're not in a relationship that is that where both people are on the same page, going through this transit is so heavy that a lot of relationships can break up because they can't carry their own weight, and you need to be able to carry your own weight. We're legit going to meet the god of the underworld on this journey. We're not just going through the underworld, we're going to the god of the underworld. So it's intense, and this is happening now during this eclipse as well. We're also getting close to the square from Saturn to Uranus, which is happening. It's happened. This is the third one, I believe, and it's been happening multiple times. This is intense. This is collective. This is about radical shift, radical changes, and things that make us feel super, super uncomfortable because they bring up so much unpredictable change that you may get caught off guard. And I think a lot of people are getting caught off guard. Hello, Camerlola, welcome in. But there's, it's a little bit of a scary transit that's been going on. So Saturn square Uranus brings up those kinds of things that change the world forever. And that this is a Saturn square Uranus year. So this is a theme that's been going on for the whole year. Saturn is also making a sextile to Chiron, and that's a good thing. Glad I'm single. So that's actually a really powerful thing. The sextile will bring in harmony, some kind of harmony. The trine to the moon from Chiron and the sextile to Saturn will bring in a little bit of harmony, so it'll kind of ease us into the healing, but the deep healing will still happen. And then there's a trine from Mars to Neptune, which means the more harmonious connections. Mars is our drive, this relentless drive to really get what we want. And Neptune in Pisces, who just went direct, is activating our intuition and bringing us closer to paying attention and understanding the messages that we receive. There's also a sextile from Venus to Neptune, which is, again, a little bit of more harmony coming in. Venus and Neptune really love each other. And when they sextile or trine, it can bring harmony into relationships as well. So I feel like there's a really strong balance of challenging aspects and of harmonious aspects. And also there's a square from Mars to Jupiter, and that is going to feel a little bit intense because that can cause a lot of friction. It can cause just like Jupiter expands everything. And when you're not getting what you want, when people are not getting what they want, there can be violence when it comes to the Scorpio, Mars and Scorpio. And we are seeing a lot of that in the world. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a lot of violence out there. So it's important to stay present. That's the whole point. It's like you have to stay present in order to take ownership. You cannot do this mindlessly, because if you're mindless and if you're not awake, you're just going to get like carried with, carried with the wave of, carried by the river or the flood. Excuse me. Excuse me. You'll be carried away by the flood, How do you stay out of the flood is you stay awake. You stay aware. So those are the aspects that are going on with this eclipse. There's another thing, excuse me, that we're going to talk about. And I think I'll switch over I'll switch over here. Oh, thank you guys. And I just discovered this the other day. Hello, Christy Ann. Welcome in. Again, I apologize for the allergies. It's just, it is what it is. She says, yes, and I notice people are kind of looking for an excuse to fight. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's happening too. Thank you, guys. Okay, so check it out. This is really cool. So it turns out there's a comet that has been heading to Earth for the last 40,000 years. It's a comet that has an 80,000 year cycle. So 40,000 years ago, it started making its way back towards the center of our solar system. And what comets do, it's like they enter the solar system, they get magnetized by the sun, so they go towards the sun, and then when they get to the sun, they go really fast around it, like, phew, and then they get like shot out like a slingshot. Thank you. This is what comets do. And there's a comet that has been heading to Earth. It was discovered in January 3rd of 2021. So basically it was discovered last year by somebody with the last name Leonard. And I like to say Leonard because I like the Leo energy of it just coming through. It's not going through the signs of Leo, but it is a powerful aspect of it that the word Leo is a part of it. But Comet Leonard was discovered in January 3rd of 2021. And it is traveling really, really fast. It was faster than Comet Neowise. And it's traveling at like 254,000 kilometers per hour. And on January 3rd, 2022, so exactly a year from when it was discovered, it's going to get the closest to the sun that it'll get. And what's going to happen is you'll see it. This is in December. This is like now. So the comet will pass the interior to the orbit of Venus and then exit the solar system when it finally does that. It's going to be visible in the northern hemisphere in early December. It's going to be the closest to Earth on December 12th. December 6th is going to be the best time to easily find it in the sky. So those are kind of like the basic details of it. But here's the juicy stuff, okay? Because comets are like messengers. When Comet Neowise came through, it was like a white comet. And in ancient times, when they saw comets in the sky, I mean, they were big. It was a big deal. And they would determine what the comet meant by what happened after the comet was seen and what color it was and all that stuff, right? So basically, comet Neowise, which we saw like, I think in the summer, I think, was it in the summer? Yeah, I think it was in the summer, sometime in the summer. Anyways, but of last year, because I remember I was in Portland when we saw it, and it was really cool to go out into the night sky every night and see Comet Neowise. I don't know if you guys checked it out. It was really, really cool. So comets are a big deal because they're like messengers. And in astrology, we look at what color is it, how fast is it moving, when we can see it, what stars or what constellations or what zodiac signs is it passing through. All of those, it was May, cool. All of those things they give us information as to what the message is. This comet is traveling really fast, so at like lightning speed. It's almost like it's coming directly from up to down. Like it starts at like the you can see it when it's like close to the Big Dipper, but it's coming basically starts from the Big Dipper and then just goes straight through. So it's really cool. I watched a video of someone who was interpreting what this actually means, and they said it's almost as if there's this activation coming in through the crown and down through all the channels and out through the root, like a full on like, whoosh, right? And at around this same time, there's the solar eclipse happening on the south pole of the Earth, which I said was like coming from the root to the crown. So there's this like whoosh, energy going on symbolically, right? Energetically for all of us. Now, the other thing that's really cool about this specific comet, it's going to travel through through Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and then I believe Capricorn. But it's actually going the way that you can see it, the way that you'll be able to see it, which is, like I said, the 6th will be the best time, is when you see the constellation of the Big Dipper. You have to look diagonally down to find the star Arcturus, and it's going to be right by Arcturus, which means that it's activating the Arcturian starseed energy. It's like a message from the Arcturians. So that's actually a really, really big deal. After December, and I'll read to you about the Arcturians in a second, just so you can get a bigger picture of that. So it's a starseed energy that's being activated. After December 12th, the comet is going to switch to an evening object and can be seen at dusk. On December 17th, the comet will lie close to Venus. So then it gets really close to Venus, and it will finally join the planet parade of Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, and then the comet that we've been seeing in the sky every night that I've been talking about. And then it's going to finally, that's going to happen at around dusk, around Christmas. Venus will pass through the comet's tail on December 19th, creating a meteor shower there. The southern hemisphere will get a better view as the comet fades. And it is expected that Comet Leonard will reach an apparent magnitude of +1, which is one of the brightest objects in the sky. On December 3rd, it will pass this globular cluster called M3. But what is so significant about the fact that when you look up into the sky, you can find it by finding the Arcturus, right? The Arcturus star. And Arcturus is a star located in the Bootes constellation. It is considered to be a very old star system, and Arcturians are also considered to be quite ancient souls. They embody wisdom, knowledge, teaching. They are master healers. They enjoy sharing their wisdom through their healing and their teachings. They're incredibly artistic and creative. Many Arcturians have a natural gift of expression, especially through the arts. They feel like the black sheep in the family. They're drawn to the night sky, astronomy, and star nations. The important things about the Arcturians is that they have a highly activated throat and third eye chakra. And they're really here to illuminate the truth of the universe. So this specific comet is coming through this Arcturian energy, who are the master healers. So like, how synchronistic is that's also happening, and that we're going to be able to see it in the sky. And I don't think I've heard that many people talking about it, honestly. I think it's synchronistic too that it's happening right now at the same time that we're having a lot of these quite heavy transits. For example, the Venus retrograde, and it's eclipse season. There's just a lot there. So I'm going to continue kind of going deeper and deeper into it, and we're uncovering, what does this all mean? What is really going on? And I think there's just massive healing, for the planet right now. I think that's the deepest activation of this, is just massive, massive healing. Now, let's talk about the Sabian symbol for this eclipse. And this gives us a little bit more information. Yeah, is anyone an Arcturus starseed? If you don't know if you're an Arcturus starseed and you want to know, I feel like this comet is really a message from the Arcturians. And the Arcturians are really good about like the sustainability of the planet, taking care of the earth, working with the elements. That's the Arcturian energy. Like, they're here to like make it happen without like destroying the planet, So they're really into like new ways of living, sustainable living, and things like that. It's exactly what, the kind of things that we need, on this planet, to become more conscious and to live more in alignment with the earth. So the Sabian symbol for 12 degrees of Sagittarius, which is where this eclipse is happening. Do you remember I just said a whole new world, like Aladdin and Jasmine flying on the magic carpet? Remember I said that? I didn't mean, that came to me, but I didn't realize the connection to this Sabian symbol. Listen to this Sabian symbol. Two lovers soar above a battlefield on the back of a winged horse, Pegasus. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All right. Absolute faith in one's ideals that translates into faith in oneself and allows one to accomplish great feats. Clearly visualizing one's goals and going after them. Rising above earthly problems by putting them in a wider spiritual perspective. Is that not what we're doing? Realizing one's dreams through focused creative efforts, imaginative art, leave behind a legacy of magic. Riding the wings of fantasy into the realm of one's heart's desire. Love which transcends the limits of time and space. Live for life's high points, for ecstasy and the dizzying exaltation of love. Clinging to a romanticized vision of the past versus living in the moment, from which all true possibilities spring. Achieving great things versus falling on one's face. Worldly savvy joined with unshakable spiritual idealism, a zest for life. Two lovers soar above a battlefield. I mean, a battlefield. Like, the earth right now is totally a battlefield. Like, legit. Like, people think that, like, the third war is going to be something else, but I think it's already happening. And we're literally, oh, nice, Joan. We're literally being asked to hover above the battlefield on the back of a winged horse, Pegasus, which is literally known to take you to the heavens. Pegasus has wings because it can fly up to Olympus. So it's upward movements. It takes you up to the sky. It takes you up to the heavens. It's such a beautiful reminder to fly up, like see things from above with love. Don't get stuck in the earthly realm. Like lift yourself out, liberate yourself, rise above it all. So powerful. Yeah, right? Flying on a carpet. Oh, you've been watching the news about the comet? Oh, I love that. Okay, now let's look at the Chandra symbol. And what does the Chandra symbol tell us about this eclipse and what's really going on? Now, the Chandra symbol is an embalmer at work on a mummy. An embalmer at work on a mummy. Death manifests among the living in myriad forms and guises. It is unforgettable in its imprint. Those who are drawn to get close to death and to get involved with it have their own set of challenges accordingly. Will they get wrapped up in the lesser levels of death and turn into habitual, trapped creatures? Or will they extend the range of their affinity and their allegiance to encompass the redemptive and the regenerative aspects of death? Yes, I know, Mama Ocean. Being magnetized to relive previous deaths, karma, to learn the ways of death and to fathom its mysteries, and being able to move among many sides of this equation, but ultimately drawn either to indulge the regressive loop of being in circles of recurrence, which is karma, step away, or to open up the space tremendously, to collaborate with the lively ones among the dead, and to discover that in their world, which is scooped out in that exquisite sensibility through which the lively dead see this world, they celebrate its free becoming more fully than anybody else would be able to approach in that sparkling way. That's crazy. Because what I see right now in the world is like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that thing about Amazon, like terms of service. Somewhere in there, it says something about preparing for the zombie apocalypse. And that's what it seems like. It's like the living among the dead. And there's like a lot of people in the world that are like literally the walking dead. And then there's those that are like the living among the dead, or the more lively among the dead, which are the ones that are waking up and being like, hey, like you don't have to be like that anymore. You know, you don't have to live like that anymore. But that's like literally what is happening now. Death manifests among the living in myriad forms and guises. Those who are drawn to get close to death and to get involved with it have their own set of challenges accordingly. Will they get wrapped up in the lesser levels of death and turn into habitual tribe creatures, or will they extend the range of their affinity and their allegiance to encompass the redemptive and regenerative aspects of death? Dude. Basically, the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Are you going to go through the transformation and finish and rise like the phoenix, or are you just going to die and like not come back? Like, are you going to give up? Are you going to give up? Or are you going to rise up? That's literally what it means, Dawn. Are you going to give up, or are you going to rise up? Yeah, right. Courtney, that's insanity. So that's the Chandra symbol for this eclipse. And the last thing that we're going to talk about is the gene key. Yeah, right. Rising. Yeah, for sure. So the gene key. Now, this is super interesting because this is actually one of my gene keys. It is my evolution sphere. So this is very personal to me, this gene key. This one and the 35th gene key are my two. It's my life purpose and my evolution. So, what is this fifth gene key about? Well, in a general sense, the fifth gene key moves from the shadow of impatience to the gift of patience to the city of timelessness. The fifth gene key is the ending of time. Its programming partner is the 35th gene key. Its physiology is the sacral plexus, and it is the codon ring, the ring of light. I want to read to you a little description from this city to help you understand what this eclipse is really about. The fifth city, timelessness, hitting the speed of being. Since the discovery of DNA and the mapping of the human genome, a huge amount of energy has gone into trying to identify and locate genes that seem to have specific links to certain diseases and illnesses. Now that we humans have cracked the code of life, our goal is to try and use it to make our lives more secure, which is understandable. However, what the shadow frequency fails to realize is that just because you can read a code does not mean that you are bound by that code. For example, knowing a child's genetic predisposition of heart disease may well end up a double-edged sword because the very knowing increases the possibilities of it occurring. If the parents respond through fear, then the frequency is indeed strengthened. At the gift level of frequency, you have just learned that higher manifestations of your DNA also exist. To live an open-hearted life is to operate at peak health and therefore to override any such genetic predispositions. However, there exists an even higher truth hiding here at the Siddhic frequency. It is that all codes can eventually be transcended and are in fact designed to be transcended. This truth is momentous. What the shadow frequency views as a problem may actually be a higher genetic mutation waiting to be unlocked. Here at the highest Siddhic frequencies, codes can no longer be unlocked digitally, which means to say that the mind cannot comprehend them. Only the human spirit can unlock the deepest secrets in our DNA. It is here in the fifth city that the great secret known as enlightenment lies waiting. The highest code can only be awakened by the flood of high frequencies contained within the spectrum of light. This is why the ancients named the phenomenon of awakening enlightenment. The more you open yourself to higher frequencies of light, the more heightened the vibration becomes within your cellular DNA. Awakening usually occurs in a rhythmic or logarithmic manner. That is to say, that the body is periodically flooded by higher Siddhic frequencies prior to full-blown enlightenment. Did I mention that this is also on my South Node and that this is one of my gene keys? The distance in time between such events decreases by approximately 1/2 every time it occurs. This is what my life feels like right now. The body is readying itself for an experience that will alter its own functioning permanently. By the way, this is on page 33 of the book. Just thought I'd say that. Every time you experience such an inflow of Siddhic high-frequency light, you move through an intense period of mutation in which any glitches in your genetic code are erased. This translates into experience as deep unconscious fears rising up to the surface of your awareness through the medium of your body. Oh my God. After such periods, your whole system must literally be rebooted. These times in your life can be very challenging, and you may well experience some disorientation. As it nears the acidic threshold, the frequency of your body will begin to approach the speed of light. It is only when your frequency hits the speed of light, I fucking love this, that time finally dissolves and pure being is experienced. This is the higher purpose hidden in all human DNA, to hit the speed of being. Wow. At the level of the fifth city, patience itself is completely transcended, and something wonderful happens. You, as a separate entity, cease to exist. Impatience and patience are two ends of the same spectrum, and as such, they are rooted in the existence of time. There is a fascinating lesson to be learned from the spectrum of consciousness, and patience is the only key that allows you to see this lesson. All beings in life are waiting. Life itself can be seen as a waiting for death. We each wait for the future to reach into us, and as it does, so we see what life has planned for us. Consciousness dances through our vehicles in unique archetypal patterns. Sometimes we may find ourselves struggling in a shadow state, whilst at others we feel a deep sense of peace. Our lives are like the candle flame flickering in the winds of duality, impatience to patience, fear to trust, and back again endlessly. Acidic state is different from this. In the acidic state, you have jumped out of the game. You are not identified with the candle flame, even though it may go on flickering. You cannot talk in terms of patience or impatience because you cannot talk in terms of time or identity. This is the meaning of the city of timelessness. Timelessness is the nature of consciousness itself. It is unborn and undying. I'm getting chills right now. Timelessness does not care whether the body is exhibiting patience or impatience. It simply is. Timelessness is thus the death of all fighting. Patience and impatience are not absolute states. They are poles within life, experienced through human awareness. Only timelessness is an absolute state, acidic state. The nature of the 64 cities can be seen very clearly through this fifth city. These are not glamorous states, even though the words may sound captivating. Most of the cities are actually very ordinary. They occur when the set of patterns that you call yourself finally experiences itself as nothing more than a set of patterns. At this point, consciousness sees itself, and the awareness operating through you is never quite the same again, even though the patterns of your nature continue to run until you die. This great change occurs when the smaller self stops trying to interfere with the flickering of the candle flame of awareness from one state to another. In other words, when you stop trying to leave the shadow frequency, only then can the paradox happen when there is no more fight left in you. The fifth city also shows up the problems of language. In this book, we talk about states in terms of frequency bands. A higher gift state is spoken of as having a higher frequency, and a shadow state as having a lower frequency. This language feeds the human evolutionary urge to achieve higher states. Because of this language, it may be assumed that a higher frequency is therefore your goal. Ironically, the Siddhic states cannot really be spoken of in terms of frequency at all, since frequency depends on oscillations of wave patterns within time. How then can we discuss timelessness, or indeed any of the other 63 cities? The answer is that we cannot, but we can still play within the language. This is the hidden lesson of the spectrum of consciousness, that it is actually a fallacy because you cannot measure or divide consciousness. You may well be wondering by now whether there is any point in going on in the exploration of the 64 gene keys. Well, there is, and there isn't. One thing is true to say. The more deeply your mind grasps the fact that you cannot do anything in life, the more you must begin to surrender both to your smaller genetic nature and your greater galactic nature. In the end, only timelessness will tell. And that's the day in the life of Jai. I can't believe that's one of my gene keys. It's like, my other gene key is the 35th gene key, which is the city of boundlessness, timelessness, and boundlessness. So, oh my God, that's hilarious, Nelly. So what's the point of living here? Well, when you reach that level of consciousness where you are above, right, the dualities, this is why the fucking Moon Goddess training is going to blow your minds. Because what I just read there was literally like the laws of the universe, and coupled in with the dimensions, and getting to the 9th dimension, which is basically God, which you would think, oh, we're getting lighter and higher and higher. We're not. We're actually becoming zero. We're actually becoming nothing. And that's such a hard concept to describe. We are just fractals of consciousness itself. The Big Bang theory, the Big Bang was an explosion of consciousness that came first, right? The first law of the universe is mentalism, the law of mentalism. God is mind. The universe is mind. Everything is mind. Mind never stops existing. When you die, you don't stop thinking. Have you thought about that one? How many people have you seen write books about how they died, went to the other side, were having conversations with people, had these epic experiences, and then came back into their body? Did they stop thinking that entire time? No. Consciousness is the universe. And when you realize in that moment of nothingness where you are neither right or wrong, you don't have emotions, you like don't have a body, you realize that you are nothing, what you realize is that you are still thinking. Who am I then? I am. That's all you need to know. I am. That's why one of the most powerful Kundalini yoga mantras is I am. This is why Matias De Stefano calls his entire company Yo Soy. I am. I am. Yep. It's kind of like that. And that's this eclipse. Like, what? Okay, then. Yeah, when we stop resisting the shadow side, you realize that you are not the shadow and you are not the light. You don't need to do either. You just need to be. You need to reach the speed of being. We need to reach the speed of being. That's what I'm going to title the ceremony. Reach the speed of being. I like that. Yup. Anybody, any more questions? Oh my God. And somehow I'm supposed to embody this gene key. It's part of my DNA, my hologenetic profile. It blows my mind every time. All right. Do you guys want to know where this is happening in your chart? I do too. Okay, Aries. Oh my God. Where do you need to reach the speed of being? Okay, this is where I'm going to tell you, where do you need to reach the speed of being? Like, where do you need to chill and stop struggling? This is what, that's so sweet. This is where you need to reach the speed of being. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. Let me just have the little, I like my little images. So we're going to go like this. Aries. Where do you need to reach the speed of being? In the 9th house. So reach the speed of being through your mind. Like, stop struggling with expanding. Stop struggling with becoming more. Just be more. These are going to be quick. Taurus. How do you reach the speed of being? 8th house. You need to stop struggling through the death ritual. You need to just die. Please don't quote me literally on that, okay? But you need to just surrender. Like, stop fighting it. Stop fighting the transition. Stop fighting the release. Just reach the speed of being, which means just be it fully. And that's for you, death, change, and transformation. Just be it. Gemini. How do you reach the speed of being? 7th house of relationships. So it is about just be the relationship. Just you need to stop struggling. You need to stop fighting in your relationships. Like, you need to just become the relationship. Reach the speed of being that thing that you want in your relationships. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, rising. I've got nothing. How do you reach the speed of being? 6th house, be present. Just be present. That is how you reach the speed of being. Just be here now. Leo. How do you reach the speed of being? 5th house, creativity. Just be creative. Don't struggle with, am I creative enough? Am I this? Am I that? No, just be it. Just fully embody it. Stop struggling and just start doing. Stop struggling and just start creating. Virgo, how do you reach the speed of being? Ooh, fourth house. Family, home, inner child, what makes you comfortable. So it's to stop struggling in that area of your life and just start being what you want in your family. Start being that. Reach the speed of being home. Whoa. Libra, how do you reach the speed of being? The third house of communication. You stop struggling to explain yourself. You stop trying to explain yourself and you just are your truth. You just are your truth. It's almost like you transcend the need to say anything at all. You just are. You reach the speed of being. So you don't need to say, this is who I am to anybody else, because there's no need for that, because you need to just know it. And there's no need to say it or try to argue about it or explain it. You just need to be it. Scorpio, how do you reach the speed of being? Oh, you connect to your sense of grounding. You find your grounding. Scorpio, this is the second house. So it's the house of values. How do you reach the speed of being? You stop trying to explain yourself about what your value is. You just become that value. You just be that value. That's it. There's nothing else to be said. You just become the value. Sagittarius, how do you reach the speed of being? You just are yourself. You stop struggling with your identity and you just allow yourself to just be you. First house of identity. Capricorn, how do you reach the speed of being? You surrender to your divinity. 12th house. You surrender to your soul. You stop questioning whether God exists or not. You stop questioning whether you're worthy of a connection to God. You stop questioning whether you're intuitive or not. You just become it. You just merge with the divine. You become the divine. Enough said. It answers all the questions. No more questions are left over. That's how you reach the speed of being. Aquarius, how do you reach the speed of being? Oh, the 11th house of sharing your gifts with the world. You stop asking whether you're doing the right thing. You stop asking whether you're on the right track. You stop questioning whether you're helping the right people. You just become it. You just become it. You just share your gifts. There's nothing else that you need to concern yourself with. That's it. And last but not least, Pisces. How do you reach the speed of being? 10th house of career and life path. You stop questioning whether you're on the right track. You stop questioning what you're supposed to be doing in the world that'll be the right thing to do in terms of career, and it will make you the right money and all this stuff. You stop questioning it and you just do it. You just be yourself, because you are the path. The path is you. We all have a path, but the path has already been, you decided it before you incarnated. So you just need to be you, and you're the key to the path. It's not like the path is out there trying to find you. Like, no, the whole thing is you need to find yourself. You need to find yourself again, and you are the path. So how do you reach the speed of being? You become your destiny. You become your path and you stop asking questions about how to do it, and you just stop fighting it and just be it. This one is intense, you guys. So that was crazy. Whoa. I needed that too. That was amazing. I am so happy that this energy is arriving on the planet. And I'm so happy that this eclipse is happening on this gene key, because the world needs to transcend. The world needs to let go, stop fighting, and just be who we were meant to be who we are, these amazing, powerful, sacred, spiritual beings on this planet, to experience our own divinity. We need to just let ourselves experience our own divinity. We need to reach the speed of being, and that's what will solve all the problems on earth. I am so excited about everything that's coming up. I love how everything always aligns in terms of my offerings, what I'm doing, my business, like everything always just perfectly aligns. And one of the most magical things for me as an astrologer is that I literally get to watch the amazingness of these transits, these aspects, all of these things just kind of come alive for me. It is freaking powerful. It is freaking beautiful. I can't wait for us to come together in ceremony. And the ceremony, we're going to actually do it tomorrow. So we were going to do it on Saturday, but the eclipse is tomorrow at it's 12:50 something Pacific. And so it'll be closer to the eclipse, the actual eclipse, to do it tomorrow evening. So we're going to do the ceremony tomorrow. And then on Saturday night, we'll do the mini readings. So you're welcome. You're welcome, you guys. Please check out all of the links below. Please join our Channel for Grace Starseed membership. We're going to begin. We're going to hit it off with a bang. On December 21st, on the winter solstice, we're going to have a member-only private ceremony for the winter solstice. And I will be guiding you through the journey of these powerful transits in a way where you'll get to experience them as they're happening. You'll get to find out the information. You'll get to feel connected. You'll feel like you're being guided. It'll be like you have a guide for these, powerful astrological times when you join the membership. And I can't wait for the Moon Goddess training. If you're thinking about it, then definitely don't wait to sign up. And there's a lot of things coming up for me that are things that I want to share, things that I want to do, but definitely stay connected. Join the email list, download the free Moon Astrology guide. That'll get you on my email list, and then you'll know everything that's happening on the channel. Get a reading with me. Get your starseed reading. Make sure that you know what kind of starseed markings you have, so that in the membership, when I talk about the stargates and the starseed energies and the transits of the starseeds, then you know that that's, a connection that's connected to you individually based off of your charts. Thank you again so much. I can't fucking wait to be able to do the Akashic record reading. Those are coming very, very soon. I hope you guys have a beautiful evening. This Scorpio dark moon is almost over. Hang in there. We're going to make it through this, you guys. Remember, this is such a good thing to remember, to stop struggling, stop fighting. When you have no more fight left in you is when you reach the speed of being. And that is what this eclipse is wanting us to do. So let's just do that together and come together tomorrow in ceremony to celebrate this coming energy that is going to basically shower our planet. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a beautiful rest of your evening. Sat Nam.